Hello, 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 hello. This is Els coming from Bemis Crafty Corner, and I have a use and storage tip for you today. If you're like me, you have a lot of this. Okay, I have some close to my heart inks. I have some Ranger inks. I have some Stampin' Spots. I have some Dilutions inks. I have a whole bunch of Stampin' Up inks, different generations of them. I've got, first generations, and I've got some second generations and third generations. So I have a whole lot of inks. I also have, just like store inks, some of the like Inkworks and things like that, Colorworks, that are not top-end inks, but I use those for embossing. So I have a whole lot of inks, and they are in several different places in my craft area. The ones that I use the most often are on a drawer on my desk. The ones that I use a little less often, but I still use, are stacked up on a shelf. And then ones that I don't really use are, in here, and this is put away. And I also have a box that's full of all of my Tim Holtz inks that I bought in a going out of crafting sale. So I have a lot of ink, and when I'm doing a project, sometimes I have a question like, is this going to match? So like a couple of months ago, I showed you guys how to do this stamping where you stamp your own, basically your own paper, to create a design that you want. Now I want to make sure that my inks match, and the only way I can do that is to take a piece of white cardstock and stamp my images on several, with several different colors of blue, and try to remember which one I used. And it can be kind of frustrating. So I have a system that I use in my own craft room that I thought I would show to you and see if possibly this would be something that may help you in your craft room. So I'm going to clear this off, get everything out, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at how I swatch my inks. All right, let's take a look at supplies for this one. This one's pretty easy, guys. We are going to want some dies, and if you don't have dies, punches will work. You want something with a shape. Doesn't matter if it's, a 2-inch circle or whatever, but you want something fairly decent size. I've got a little bit of a tag, scallop tag here, and a little mason jar that I can use, either one of those. You're going to want a hole punch. You are going to want a ring. You are also going to want cardstock, your ink pads, something to clean your stamp with, and you're going to want a stamp. Now I'm going to use a woodblock stamp because this means I don't have to have, cork or foam underneath it when I do my stamping. And the stamp that you want can be either solid, like either one of these, or it could be something that's very detailed. You just want to make sure that whatever stamp you're going to be using is going to fit on the piece that you plan on using, that you're going to be cutting out. Okay, so like this guy, he's not going to fit on this mason jar. He's too big, so that one won't work. These flowers, they fit, they just barely fit, but I have this cute little leaf, and this little leaf fits on here very nicely, and I can stamp that on there. So that's going to be my choice today. I'm going to use this stamp that is the leaf, and you're also going to want your cutting board. So, and that's so you can cut strips to make it easier to punch out your items. So what you're going to do is you're just going to start by taking your punch, and you're just going to punch these out. So if you have leftover white cardstock, like scrapped cardstock, this is a great way of doing it, getting rid of it, because you're going to punch a bunch of these. Okay? And we're just going to punch all these out of our scrapped cardstock until we've got at least one for every color ink we have. And once you have one for every color ink that you have, we're going to stack these up, and we're going to get started. So I'm going to get a whole bunch of these punched out, give you a chance to do the same as well, and I will be right back. before we proceed with this, let's talk about a few things. One, if you are going to do this, make sure that all of the paper that you use is the same manufacturer, the same weight, the same brightness, because that will affect the color, okay? So if you're going to be using something that's like 92 bright, make sure you stay with 92 bright, okay? And as far as like saturation rates and stuff, it's going to matter. So, that being said, I have two different shapes here, and the reason I have this is because for me, mine are, the ones that I use are cut from layered tags. And all I've done is I cut out down to the smallest one that I could stamp on, which is like the fourth one. And I use different types of ink on each one. So like all of my We Are Memory Keepers ink, Close to My Heart ink is out here. All of my Stampin' Up inks are here. All of my Tim Holtz inks are here. Okay, so it just made it easier for me to know which one is which kind, just on a visual cue. So for the next part, we're going to want our tags, our stamp, a way to clean our stamp, and ink and a pen. Okay? So, let me put some stamp cleaner on my stamp cleaner pad. We're going to bring in our first piece. So, this one is Close to My Heart Cranberry. So I'm going to write that on here. Close to My Heart Cranberry. Then I'm going to turn that over. I'm going to ink up my stamp. I'm going to make sure I have a good coat of ink here. And I'm going to stamp my image. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000. Okay? Then I'm going to clean my stamp and close this one up. Move it to the side. Okay? Then I'm going to set this off so it can dry, and I'll bring in the next one. Again, this is a Close to My Heart. Close to My Heart. And this one is Saddle. Turn it over. Open my ink pad. Make sure I have good ink coverage. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000. Clean my stamp. Set it off to dry. Okay? And I'm going to do that going through all of my inks in this set. And then I'm going to bring in the next set. So once I'm done with these, I can put them away. And then I'll bring in the next set. Now, if I have a lot of these smaller ones like this, then I can bring in a whole tray of them, do a whole bunch of them at once, set them off to the side, and then all I have to do is just make sure that I put all the sets together, you know, all the Stampin' Spots, all of the Rangers, all of the Dilutions. Now, if you only have, let's say, one set of dies that you can use, and you have multiple different types of inks, you could get a set of colored markers, okay, and just put this on a piece of scrap paper, and I have some, I do, here we go, there we go, just put it on a piece of scrap paper, and just put a line across the bottom, and then when you look at these on the thing, you're going to see all the blue ones are going to be together, so that'll tell you that those are all the Close to My Hearts, or they are all of your Delusions or your Rangers, okay? so you can color code them to what brand they are, okay? Just a couple of quick tips. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up with these, and when I come back, I'm going to show you what this looks like. All right, so once you've gone through and you've stamped all of your little tags and you've labeled them, there's a few things you're going to do. You're going to pop some holes in the tops here, and we are going to color code these, okay? Because you want to know which brand you're looking for. Maybe you're looking for a specific brand, like you know that ink that you're looking for, the one that you're absolutely certain is going to work on that project, is one of your distress oxides. So you don't want to have to be flipping through all the cards looking for it. You want to be able to go straight to your distress oxides. So I'll show you how to color code these really quick, and then we will kind of move on to the end of this. All right. Now, I do have extra pieces, and I can put those towards the back so that I don't lose them. And this is, of course, not all of my ink. I just did, you know, about 100 of them or so that you guys can see what this looks like as you build it. So I have gone through and I have put holes into all of my little cards. And what I've done is on the back of the card, I label it. This is a distress oxide. This is wild honey. There's the stamp. And all of my distress oxides have pink in this corner. So you can see when you look, you can actually tell. So then we move on to the next one, which is our close to my hearts. And all of my close to my hearts are blue. And then I have the green, and the green is my ink spot. Then I have these little ones back here. This is like a purpley color. And the purple is my Ranger inks. I only have a few of those. And then I have this like dark purple, and the dark purple is all of my Stampin' Up colors. So I have all of those. Now, there is an ink pad that I want to talk about. A lot of people have it, and if you're doing this system, there is a way to do this. So let me show you. So a lot of people have these. And if you've watched my video on embossing with clear embossing powder and getting every color that you possibly can, you probably have a set of these Hampton Arts, because these work really well for that. The problem is that the Hampton Arts don't really have a name on them. Studio G does not have a name on it. And if you've ever been into a Michaels and you're like, oh, that's a pretty teal, and you just grabbed it, it doesn't have a name for the color. So with these, what I recommend you do is that you number them, okay? So you can use a little stamp or a sticker, or just write the number on here with a black felt tip, you know, like a Sharpie. Just write your numbers on here. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, whatever. And then when you put them on your cards, just put Hampton Art 1 and stamp your image. That way you will be able to get even the colors that you don't have names for, that don't specifically have names. You'll be able to get those in your ring as well. So that being said, so then all you do is just take your ring, open it up, and just feed these all through. Close your ring. And now you have a way to be able to look at all of your colors. And if you want to compare two colors to each other, you can take the cards off, put them side by side. You can just lay it next to your project and go, no, that's not the right color. That's not the right color. But you have a literal library of every color ink that you have in something that's basically fits in your hand. So that's a little over 100 inks right there. And you can see it's not a lot of room. It's like an inch by 2 inches. It's not a lot of room, but it is every ink, not every ink, but it's reasonably a good amount of my inks. Okay, so that is my little plan here. Like I said, you can use any shape that you want. You can use different shapes for different types of ink, or you can just code them on the back and then color code the corners. So if I go out and get more Ranger ink, I'll just go here to my Ranger section, and I will be able to stamp that ink using my image, add my color to the corner, and then just put it right here in my Hampton inks. And another good thing that this does is it allows you to see if any of your inks bleed through your paper. So if you have an ink that bleeds, here, like that one, see that kind of bleeds a little bit? That's a close to my heart, and it bleeds through a little bit. You'll know before you use it on something if it's a bleeder. Oh, there's one, that's definitely a bleeder. That's a Ranger ink there, that one. So apparently the Ranger inks bleed through the paper, because I can see them all coming through. So that'll give you that little bit of information as well. Just a little idea I have, guys. Listen, if you're brand new here and you've never been here before, welcome. Thank you so much. Do me a favor, hit that red button. Like me, ring my bell, and share me with all of your friends, and then your friends can be my friends can be your friends, and our friends can get to be friends, and that is, after all, what a community is all about. Listen, till the next time, stay safe. Bye-bye.